Hi there. I've got your file just here. So I can see from your file that you're going through quite a lot of pain when you're studying English. Is that right? And how long has this been happening? Since you were in early high school. And how old are you now? 32. Oh, okay. It's taken you a while to come in and get it checked out. Let's just take a look at that for you. Just glove up. Okay, can you look to your left for me? And look to your right. Ooh, that does look painful. I can see your grammar is all over the place and your white cells are just not generating enough vocab to get the job done. Okay, well, first of all, I guess we should give you something for the pain. Allergic to anything? No? Okay, this shouldn't hurt too much. Okay, we'll just place it in there. How's that? Feeling any better? And now look, I'm not going to lie to you. It's a fairly big problem, but there's good news. It is treatable. In fact, it's curable. The majority of people that walk in with your complaint experience total recovery and become productive members of the medical profession right here in Australia. Like, it's doable. It might seem tough at the moment, but just hang in there. I'm going to write you out a script. What I want you to do is actually take in some study 3 times a day. Sorry, what's that? Before meals or after meals, doesn't really matter. You can study before eating or you can study after eating. Study while eating. What will happen? What will happen if you study and eat? Well, you'll be knowledgeable but fat. Anyway, this prescription is to study 3 times a day. You should make significant progress. Maybe check in with me once a week or more often whenever anything concerns you. If you've got any questions about your treatment. And I'm expecting a full recovery and to pass OET within 3 to 6 months, depending on the severity of the original condition. Got any questions? Well, in that case, I'll see you at your next appointment. Have a great day and hit the books. Hi there. Putting jokes to one side, my name is Simon Ingalls. I'm a linguist and a qualified teacher. I've been teaching English as a second language for more than 25 years now. I hold a degree in linguistics from Melbourne and a graduate diploma in education from Deakin, as well as a graduate diploma in Asian studies from Monash and Nanjing Normal. I've been teaching OET for a long time and I'm doing a series of YouTube videos to help you with your OET progress. Most of these videos at the moment will be in 2 types. One is to build up your overall vocabulary. So to do that, I'm going to do lots and lots and lots of short videos just on a particular word or group of words. And the other videos will be on coaching, which should be useful for your OET speaking exam. Okay, today I would like to talk about, to begin with, the difference between medical words specifically and generic standard English words to cover the same meaning. Both in your work as a medical professional and for the OET, you'll need to get a bit of a grasp of both types of words, those which are commonly used in standard English and the more specific medical terms. With your patients, you may need to swap from one to the other if they're unsure of what you're saying, if you're speaking medically. Now, something unusual happens from a linguistic point of view with words which are both medical and have a different version in standard day-to-day English. The funny thing that happens is that often when people hear a word only in a hospital or only in connection with professional medical people, they sometimes assume that it's got a slightly different meaning to the general English word. The word I want to point out to you today is the word hemorrhage. Now, hemorrhage, of course, is the same word as bleeding, But because most people only hear that word in the context of a hospital where something fairly major is going on or has gone on, compared to the day-to-day word bleeding, which could cover small cuts and scratches or even a shaving cut or a kid falling over playing basketball or whatever. Because people hear hemorrhage in a serious context and they use bleeding in a day-to-day context, there's a common misconception or misunderstanding that hemorrhaging is massive and severe bleeding and bleeding is not, which of course as medical people you know is untrue. Hemorrhage can describe a small hemorrhage as well as a large hemorrhage. So a specific medical word, hemorrhage, which is rarely used outside of its professional context, and bleeding, which is a very common day-to-day word. Now, adjectives to describe bleeding, the two most common adjectives are heavy or light. Heavy bleeding from a major injury or gushing artery, compared to light bleeding, which might be a more superficial flesh wound or minor injury. Okay, so that's my point for this YouTube. That there's a whole range of vocabulary that is used in medicine which is quite specific and professional, and often there are parallel words in standard day-to-day English. It's good to listen out for both and learn each as you go along. This will be useful for your OET and for your professional life. The word for today is hemorrhage, which is the same as the day-to-day word, bleeding. Are there other slang or colloquial words for bleeding? Not really. Bleeding pretty much covers it. There might be all sorts of euphemisms for the spilling of blood or violence, such as somebody losing claret, which is when you're comparing bleeding to red wine. They're not very common though. The most common day-to-day word you'll hear is bleeding. Okay, let's do a second one, even though it's a brief video. Fracture. Again, a lot of people seem to assume that, in my childhood I remember, that a fracture is different to a break. I've often heard people say, oh no, it wasn't broken, it was only fractured. Of course, the medical term fracture describes a break. It's not just a crack or a bit of surface damage. So fracture is the medical word and the common word break. Again, are there a lot of colloquial terms for break? In this case, not really. The most common standard English day-to-day word would be break. Somebody has a broken bone, somebody broke their leg, somebody broke an arm. We have an odd expression that you may hear that might sound confusing. In the theatre where people act, it's actually bad luck to say to an actor, good luck. I don't know why, I don't know the history of it, you might want to look it up. So to avoid bad luck, when they want to wish luck to somebody who's going to be in a play or a theatrical production of some sort, they use the expression break a leg. So to an actor, break a leg means good luck. Okay, let's leave it there for today. I'll come back with some fresh vocab either later today or tomorrow, and I'll also get started on some coaching sessions for the speaking test. We'll break that down into components and see if we can work on that as well. If you need any written work corrected, or if you need an opinion on something, you're free to email me. You can ask questions in the comments below, which is of course totally free. You can request subject areas or grammatical areas that you would like covered, and I'm happy to do that for free as well. And the more subscribers I get, the more work I will put on YouTube. So if you can, like and subscribe, leave a comment, ask me a question. Have a great day. Good luck with your study.